Hey guys, it's Andy, and today we have a makeup tag. This is called the Drugstore Makeup Tag, and it was created by Jen Phelps. I will leave her channel linked in the description box below. I originally saw Sarah Rose do this video. Of course, I will also leave her channel link down below. And this is 14 questions, just talking all about drugstore makeup. So if you want to hear my answers to these questions, see how we do this look together, as I look like sunshine, then let's just go ahead and get into it. As always, if you like makeup unboxings with a little bit of horror sprinkled in, please consider subscribing, as I would love to have you here. And let's just go ahead and get into today's video. Alright, so bare-faced and bushy-tailed, and I'm sorry for the lighting because it's storming out, so it's a little darker in here than usual. And if you hear the thunder and lightning and whatnot, I'm also sorry because, again, it is storming. So we're just going to knock on wood, pray the power doesn't go out. That is what we're going to do for today. But today's video is a palette tag. It is a drugstore makeup tag. I have all my answers here on my janky piece of paper. But I'm going to do mostly full face. I mean, I'm going to pull in some of my Project Pan items, but for what I can do. So I'm going to skip around on the questions because, like, they're not in order of the full face. But for question number 8, it was, what drugstore brand do you think is overpriced? And I have 2 answers for that. But I only have one primer from one of the answers, so for me personally, I think L'Oreal is extremely overpriced for what you're getting. Their products are ungodly expensive, and I also think that Neutrogena makeup is overpriced, which is what I'm using today. This is the Neutrogena Glow Primer Serum with hyaluronic acid. It's the Hydra Boost. This thing was like $18 because it's like skincare. Give me an actual like full dropper, please. I do really like it because since it's like skincare, it does sink into the skin really well. Even though I have oily skin, I do really like hydrating products. I love hyaluronic acid. I think it sits on my skin extremely well. So, like, my skin literally just drank that up. It sank in immediately. But $18 for this, it's like $17.94, is absolutely ridiculous. Craziness. Absolutely craziness. So I think their products are way overpriced. And L'Oreal is also super overpriced for what you're getting. Their makeup's like $14, $15. It is insane. Insane in the membrane. For foundation, what's the question? What's your favorite drugstore foundation? Y'all should have already known this. I have several. I really like drugstore foundations, but this one's my favorite. And this is the Hard Candy Glamouflage. It is full coverage, oil-free. I have mine in the shade 1503 Linen. This is a brand new bottle. I'm opening it just for you guys. So this is one of the reasons why I love it. It comes with just this gigantic doe foot applicator. I don't know why I love this so much, but I do. I will say, it smells like paint. So, like, it not like paint, but like it has the chemically foundation smell. The only downside to this foundation, because it wears beautifully, it sinks into the skin. This is like my perfect shade match. My only complaint with this foundation is, like, do not spread this all over your face because it dries very quickly. Like, it sets. So, like, You need to work in sections. That is my only complaint. But if you know that, and if you know that going into it, which I had to find out the hard way, but like I'm telling you, so if you buy this foundation, you will know that going into it. Just work in sections and you'll be okay. And it works fine with a brush. I just prefer to pounce my foundation in with a sponge. I just prefer how that looks. But like, just look at how well that, like, look at that shade match. It is just, oh. And then my other thing is, like, especially this shade is, like, always gone at my local Walmart, so that's frustrating. And I wish they had a concealer to go with it. That's frustrating. But this foundation is phenomenal, and I love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish pouncing this into my skin. And then I don't have a concealer for, like, this tag, so I'm just going to use my Maybelline Superstay Activewear 30-hour concealer in the shade 10. This is in my... I don't think this is in any project, actually. This is just the one I've been using. So I'm going to use this, and then we'll move on. So give me just a second. Actually, I lied. Before I go in with this concealer, we have another one. It's the... What's a hidden gem from the drugstore that no one talks about in this? This is the Rimmel London Insta Conceal and Correct Trio. So we have 3 shades here. Oh! Just trying not to blind you with the little baby mirror. We have a peach, a green, and a lavender. These are cream shades. They are wonderful. I did get this on Amazon. I don't know if they sell this in store, but like it's still drugstore. It's Rimmel London, but this is so good. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the peach on my inner corner here because I haven't been sleeping and I could use the brightness, and then I usually just use a teeny tiny bit under my nose there. And let's put that back over here. I usually use just a brush to blend this out, but it is so good. Like, the green shade is phenomenal for my rosacea when it really flares up. The lavender shade, if you need that. I don't really use a lavender because I just don't need a lavender corrector, but this peach shade is, like, look at that. And then I'm just, like I said, I'm going to top that with my concealer. I hear so many people ragging on this concealer, and it's so sad because I really like this concealer. And that's just where I conceal. Basically the same spots and then my forehead. Bang, boom, firepower. I'm going to blend this out really quick and we'll move on. And now for creams, none of my products are on the little questionnaire here, so we'll just go over some of the normal random questions, which is question number 1. If you could only pick one drugstore or affordable brand, what would it be? And for me, that would be Profusion, of course. I love Profusion. So if I had to just pick one drugstore brand that would be the only brand that I could buy from, that's who it would be from. I love their products so very much. I don't really think I've had a dud. Granted, I haven't tried everything from Profusion, but And this is just my Fenty matchstick. All my products, if I don't mention them, as always, everything's listed in the description box. For today's video, what is the most underrated drugstore or affordable brand? And that's going to be Hard Candy, which is the setting spray I'll be using today. But Hard Candy is actually owned by Urban Decay, and a lot of people don't know that. Hard Candy, which is why, I love their foundation, but I'm also using their setting spray, and I love Hard Candy. And they're such an underrated brand for being as cheap as they are. What is the most overrated drugstore brand? Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, but listen, I personally think, because these are all personal opinions, and if you disagree, that's okay. It's just makeup. But I think e.l.f. is a little overrated. Some of their products are absolutely fantastic, and I will agree with you. But I think the hype is a little ridiculous. So I would say that the hype train for e.l.f. is a bit overrated. Let's see, what's the next one? We'll get to that. What products do you tend to buy at the drugstore versus high-end? And I mean, for this I wrote a detailed list, but honestly, most products. There's not really anything that I'm like, oh, I have to buy this high-end, like, I'm bougie on a budget, but mostly it's all my base products, my foundation, my concealer, bronzer, blush, highlight. The only thing that I really think that there's an actual difference in quality would be eyeshadow. Like, that's where I really see that difference. But base products, they really just are the same thing repackaged. And I'm sure eyeshadows are too. But I don't know. I really see the difference in high-end eyeshadow. But yeah, drugstore base products, that's where it's at for sure. We will get to that one. What is the worst drugstore formula? Eyeshadow formula. Personally, Wet n Wild. I've tried a bunch of Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes, and I'm always disappointed. And then they just keep going up in price. Like, I looked today, because they just had an Alice in Wonderland collection come out. $18 for a Wet n Wild palette. Like, no thank you, ma'am. Absolutely not. We are not doing that. The best drugstore eyeshadow formula, personally, is what we'll be using today, which is the Profusion formula. I'm going to be using the Kaleidoscope palette today. We're going to do a yellowy look. We will get to that later when we get to eyeshadow. What's one drugstore brand you used to love but aren't crazy about anymore? And for me, I would say e.l.f. Back when e.l.f. was $1, $2, $3, $4, I thought they were fantastic, especially for the price. Now that they are all about just duping high-end, I don't know. I don't love them as much. I think their quality has gone down, and I think they've sold out a little bit. Again, I still think that they have a lot of really good products. I still think a lot of their products are great in quality. We are going to use my e.l.f. setting powder today because I wanted to feature something e.l.f. This is the HD Soft Luminance setting powder. I do really enjoy this. Like I said, I don't want to completely rag on e.l.f. I do enjoy some of their products, but overall, I just think that they've sold out, and Maybe I'm alone in that. If you agree, please let me know in the comments, because I don't know. I wanna see if I'm alone in that opinion. But I don't know. I used to really, really love e.l.f., but not anymore. Like I said, I still do enjoy some of their stuff, but it's just kind of few and far between. But I do love this setting powder. Didn't like the Halo Glow setting powder, but this setting powder, I do really enjoy. And I haven't used it in a hot minute, so very happy to have gotten to use that. Let's see. Did I get out a blush? A powder blush? I did not. Give me 1 second. I didn't get out a powder blush. You know what? I'm just going to use one of the blushes from the Profusion palette. That's what we'll do. The next is a drugstore product you didn't expect to like, but totally wowed you. We'll get to using it in a second, but my Uoma by Sharon C, it's her drugstore line that's sold at Walmart. This is the Brow Styler. One, all of her products in her line are phenomenal, but I don't care about doing brows. This is phenomenal. So you got your brow pencil on one end, and a brow gel on the other. Mine is in the shade 2, and this is perfect. It's cool toned and wonderful, and I can't say enough good things about this. We will get to my eyebrows when we get to my eyebrows, but I love this so very, very much. Let me do my bronzer really fast, and then we'll get to the Profusion blush. 1 second. I think for blush, I'm going to go into mostly the shade Comfy, and I'm going to mix into just a tiny bit of the shade of Changes. So I'm going to do like a dot into the shade Changes, and then a couple dots into the shade Comfy. Oh, and I think that looks cute. Boom. There we go. All blushed up. Favorite affordable eyeshadow right now, obviously, my Profusion Kaleidoscope palette. That is phenomenal. I love it. Profusion palettes in general, for your money, are fantastic. But if you are okay with mega palettes, because I know not everybody likes super big palettes, but if you're okay with it, that one's great. If you want something more neutral, the Moonstone palette is just as phenomenal. That one's all neutrals. So, alright. We can finally move on. Oh, I didn't put my lip balm on. Hang on. This is my Project Pan, and I've been trying to get my uses on it. So I always wear it while I'm doing my makeup. It's a JCat Beauty lip balm. But okay, so for eyes, obviously we are using the Profusion palette. And as I said, we're going to go ahead and do a yellow look. I'm also going to show you the couple things that I'm going to pull in for it that are in my projects. I'm probably going to pull in because I want some more bright yellows. I'm going to use a little bit of the shades from my Honey palette from ColourPop. And then my Tankini Super Shock Shadow. And then my Yellow Brick Road shade from S&B Beauty. I'm going to use the glitter. So I'm going to pop off and do my eyes, and I'm going to come back, but there was one more question and that was, what's your favorite drugstore product under $5? And for me, that is LA Colors Shockwave eyeliners. These are $3.49, and they come in a bunch of colors, and this is why I picked to do a yellow look, because this one is in the shade Citrus, and I will give you a swatch. That is it right there. That is what we're going to put in my waterline after I do my yellow look. So I'm going to go pop off and do that, and then I will come back and I will show you the finished look, put some lips on, and yeah, but we've answered all the questions, so I will be back. All right, so this is the final look. Like I said, I did that LA Colors eyeliner in my waterline here, and I just did a little bit of mascara and the Milani Gold lip gloss because I thought it went with the look, and I think it turned out really, really nice. I ended up using, from the Profusion palette, just so that you know, I ended up using the shades, this one, and this one, and this one for the eye look. And the rest of the shades were my singles and from the Honey palette. But I think it turned out very, very pretty. And I feel like sunshine on this very stormy, gross day. So I hope you guys like the little palette tag, makeup tag. I'm sorry I went all over the place out of order, but you know, I wanted to talk about the products as we went. But I will leave all the questions in the description box again. All the makeup that I'm wearing will be listed in the description box as well, as usual. And let me know in the comments if you want to do this tag as well. I would love to watch your videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.